So guys, this is the Great Wall Haval Jolion Pro, and its price is starting from Kenya shillings 5.1 million. You reckon this is your next soft roader? We take a look at the design of this particular vehicle, and I can tell you, my oh my, Haval have done an amazing job designing this particular product. Now that it's under the Great Wall Motors brand, you can see the subtle changes that have been employed on this particular vehicle. Last year we did something similar with the previous generation of the Haval, but it's been upgraded to give you that je ne sais quoi that we keep on talking about on cars with Big Boy Trev. Take a look at the bonnet. Clamshell bonnet. You can see the neat lines that run across the whole bonnet to ensure that this particular vehicle has some aerodynamic efficiencies. Of course, you have these triposidal lamps, full LEDs, and of course it's called LED Premium Vision. I know where they've got it from, but I can tell you it illuminates the roads quite easily, be it day or night. And of course, right below you have this particular grille. It looks like a Superman grille. You've got these staggered vertical lines giving this car that butch upright design with the words Haval emblazoned on it. And of course, on the lower lip as well, you do have this sporty lower lip with a piano black finish that corresponds with the color. So they've thought about every single thing, making it look very sporty, very proper in terms of design cues and so much more. So look at that. It's got a shark nose design, and of course it slides through the wind like hot knife through butter, a drag coefficient of 0.26, and of course a wrecked windscreen again to ensure that this particular vehicle is as fuel efficient and sporty through the Kenyan terrain. Now, as you can see here, you also have a lower lip as well that gives this car that premium sporty look. Remember, it's called the JolionPro. It's a sport version of this particular vehicle. So does the side correspond with the design? Let's move to the side and have a look at the JolionPro design. So we move to the side profile, and as you can see, the design corresponds all the way from the front. You've got that lower lip that actually comes out and actually merges with the front fender. You have this aero shark fins that ensures that there's maximum aero efficiency. This plastic cladding runs across the front fender all the way to the lower door seal to the back, again giving this car some off-road look and sporty look. Now to top it up, you do have this black on black rims, the 18-inch, and of course the tires are dressed on Kumos, and they are actually 225 by 55 by 18, giving you stance and wide track to ensure that this particular vehicle gives you maximum grip at any given surface. So when you're on your highway and you feel like you power the 1.5 liter turbo, then this particular vehicle gives you enough grip as you traverse the beautiful country of Kenya. And of course, as you move towards the passenger cell, this is where the magic happens as well. We start with these particular mirrors. They're large. You can see the whole area. And of course, if you have challenges of parking, then you can rely on the 360-degree cameras that are spread across the vehicle. So you have one camera on the front wing mirror, the other one on the left front and the back, to give you a virtual feeling of where the vehicle is. So ladies, if you have challenges parking, then this JolionPro is the one for you. You've got this side repeater lamps as well to ensure that you're indicating and so much more. So visibility is very good. I love the fact that the windows are large and they're upright so the light can get into the cabin so that everybody can see what is happening. Then you've got this chrome X that runs across the lower door sill, again giving this car some premium look and feel. One thing I love about this particular Jolion is the fact that they've thought about making sure that the lines are subtle. You can see the design, of course, the lower hip line that runs across from the front fender, front door to the back again. But the je ne sais quoi, that design is there, and I love it. I love the fact that they've thought about every single thing. Plus the black on black complements everything. You've got infused roof spoilers as well. Then of course you do have a large panoramic sunroof that comes as standard in the JolionPro. So everybody inside the cabin, be it day or night, can be able to see outside and have good light getting into this particular vehicle. Let's move to the rear part of the vehicle. We call it the rear third. As you can see, this Hofmeister kink that's borrowed from BMW has this je ne sais quoi, this chrome X that runs across all the way, and of course you do have this particular design that haunches all the way. It's got that coupe feeling, and of course the design elements will merge to form at the back with the side repeater lamps, which are LEDs, also coming and wrapping around the rear third of this particular vehicle. But how does the rear correspond with the side profile? Let's move to the rear and have a look at the design of this JolionPro. So we move to the rear profile, and I can tell you this is where all the design elements merge to form this unique design. Number one, let's start with the roof. You can see the aerolines. The cupola line comes all the way and fuses to this rear diffuser, which protrudes outside to ensure that this car has enough aerodynamics and downforce. And number two, the design theme is also fantastic. Number two, you have a third stop braking light, actually two, 1 and 2. And of course, the rear part, the rear panel curves all the way to the back, giving this car a premium look and feel. Got this rear LED lamp that runs across all the way the back panel, and of course you do have this daytime matrix rear LED lamps that lamp and light up very nice. On the left hand side you have the words JolionPro, and of course you can tell that this particular design is very sporty and aerodynamic. I love the black on black theme that runs across all the way from the front fender all the way to the back and runs across this sporty design. So let's move towards the lower part of the bumper. I love the black on black color coding, which gives this car that je ne sais quoi. The sporty rear bumper gives this car some je ne sais quoi with the piano black finish. And of course, you can tell that this particular vehicle is built for the sporty person in mind. So if you're looking for a sporty crossover, then this particular Jolion Pro might be the one for you. But the biggest question still remains, how good is the interior? Let's step inside and have a look at the interior of this Jolion Pro. Now you've seen from the design perspective the quality and the design of the Haval Jolion. Stylish, modern, and of course illustrates China's power to literally take over the design world in terms of vehicle design. Now we step inside this particular cabin. The first thing you notice is the way the layout has been designed. So this particular dashboard has that forward cap design, basically meaning that the dashboard has been placed further away to create an illusion of space. And I like the way they've designed the dashboard. It's a two-step design. So on top you do have some carbon fiber design, and of course right here you do have some veneer finish with some stitching which is contrasting, and you have this strip, this chrome strip that gives this car what? Thank you very much. And of course the highlight of this particular dashboard is this massive 12.3 multi-information system that houses quite a number of things, including air conditioning, which comes as standard in this particular vehicle. It's dual zone, so basically the driver and passenger can actually control the amount of temperature or air getting into the cabin on both sides, and of course feel very flexible. And obviously at the back as well, you have also a few settings here so that even the rear passengers can enjoy being in this pleasant cabin of this particular Haval Jolion. Now, music. I love music, and you know that. So I'm going to press this and just give you the sound quality of this particular vehicle. So that sound is courtesy of JBL, which is a renowned audio maker that actually gives this car 8 speakers, full surround sound, with a subwoofer that's placed right underneath this particular dashboard to give this car some oomph. So if you love music, apart from listening to radio, you can actually stream your music via Spotify, because this particular vehicle has an app store that is readily available. You can download it and be able to stream your music. You can also listen to music via your phone via Bluetooth and of course USB. Not forgetting that this particular system can also handle Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So basically the whole ecosystem can actually be used and mirrored on this particular facility, and of course voice control to ensure that you remain safe while driving on this particular Haval Jolion crossover. Now let's move to the lower part of this particular step. We do have physical buttons for the AC and of course recirculating, defrosting and many other buttons, but it's simple but well designed. I love the fact that they've tried to use some interesting texture on the lower part of the dashboard with contrast stitching, giving this car some je ne sais quoi. I'm telling you, even the established brands like Hyundai, like Ford, like Toyota, like Nissan really need to take care, because the Chinese are coming and there's no stopping them. I've been knowing we do have 2 vents as well, 2 on the lower part, 2 on the extremities of the dashboard, so that the cabin is well ventilated. Because we come now to the most important part, which is the gearbox console. So it's stretched all the way from the dashboard, and of course you do have wireless charging as standard in this particular vehicle. So you have a rotary switch that you've probably seen on Jaguar Land Rover, and I can tell you it is very easy to use. So you just rotate this particular dial from park, reverse, neutral, drive and manual. And of course you do have paddle shifters that comes as standard if you select manual mode, which is very good. I love the fact that they've thought about every single thing about making this car very, very sporty. We're going to find out much later. So you do have some slots here. You have a card slot, you have a key slot over here. And of course, adjacent to it is the park brake and auto hold. Now, auto hold is very important in traffic because you don't need to step on the brake all the time. The moment the vehicle senses that it is stationary, it applies the brakes automatically and you're able to relax your feet. And of course, when you step on the gas, it will just move and disengage the handbrake, which is very good. I mean, it's very modern. It's a thoughtful touch. And obviously, between the two vents, you do have a hazard sign, just in case you get into emergency. You do have also some cup holders. It's a unique design. It's asymmetrical. So if you have a small cup, you can fit here a cup of coffee. Or if you have a mug or a big bottle, it will also fit quite well. Now, the center console as well, counter stitching, complementing the seats as well. Now, let's move to the instrument binnacle. Now, instrument binnacle has also a very high definition 8.3-inch multicolor display that actually allows you to toggle through the important settings of the car, and it will tell you what the car is doing at any given time. So for example, on the left hand side you have the temperature gauge, on the right hand side you have the fuel gauge. So it actually measures the amount required and tells you how much fuel you have or if the engine temperature is correct. And of course in between there's a circular design. So on the left is the RPM or revolutions per minute, tells you the speed of the engine. On the right hand side is the kilometers, the speed of the car as you traverse the beautiful country of Kenya. It will tell you tire pressure because this car has tire pressure monitoring sensors across, and of course it will tell you the drive mode. If you're normal, sport or comfort, it will tell you and of course alert you. Now the steering wheel as well, 3-spoke design, leather cladded with counter stitching over here. You do have on the left hand side all the aspects to control everything of the multimedia infotainment system. So you can pick up your call, you can cancel it, you can change channels or the source of music. On the right hand side, everything to do with the automatic advanced cruise control with autonomous emergency braking, which has a sensor right here and a camera, so you're able to control that right here. Paddle shifters, very important if you're doing manual transmission, if you're driving on sports mode. And of course you do have start stop as standard. I love the fact that this particular vehicle has 6-way design. What do I mean by that? 6-way design is basically you have the seats, you can adjust them height, reach, and of course also the steering wheel. It's also telescopic. You can adjust it to your taste and preference, so that if you're a short man, you're able to drive easily. If you're tall and big like myself, you'll be able to fit quite comfortably in this Jolion. Now, how does the back seat correspond with the front? Let's move to the back and have a look at the seating space of the Haval Jolion. So we move to the back seat, and the first thing you notice is the amount of space. It's too much. It feels like a business class jet. The headroom is fantastic. The headroom is good despite it having a sunroof. Now, the name of the game is practicality, and this particular SUV, the Haval Jolion, actually gives you more than satisfaction in terms of comfort. You can actually sit 3 adults comfortably on the rear seats because there's no hump here. And of course, the leg room is fantastic. But if you're only sitting 2 people, then you can retract this armrest to reveal 2 cup holders and an armrest that ensures that you enjoy this particular vehicle quite easily as you traverse the beautiful country of Kenya. Now, the seats also are well sculptured to ensure that the lumbar support is fantastic. So it's very good for long distance. If you're driving to Mombasa or Kisumu or Nyeri for that matter, you're able to enjoy the comfort of the Haval Jolion. You do also have 3-point safety belts on all the 3 seats. You have headrests to prevent whiplash. And of course, ISOFIX anchors in case you have a child. You can actually fix the child seat comfortably to the right position to ensure that the baby is well protected in case of a rollover. Now, in case all hell breaks loose, then you can rely on curtain airbags that run across from the front to the back on both ends to prevent head and thorax injuries. While in the Haval Jolion, it's got a 5-star safety rating. And of course, you know that everybody wants a car that will protect their family from harm's way. Now, in terms of climate control, it's standard here. You have 2 vents here. You can control them quite easily. Airline cell pockets to hide your iPad or your valuables quite easily. So it's a very practical and roomy space. Even the door bins actually do have very big cup holders or bottle holders to ensure that you are actually very practical and everybody enjoys the space in the Haval Jolion. I step first to move to the boot space and see how much cargo it can carry, courtesy of cars with Big Boy Trev. So ladies and gentlemen, today on Cars with Big Boy Trev, it's all about the Jolion Pro. This is the new edition of the hugely popular Jolion by Haval, and I can tell you they've really improved so many things. So the Pro basically has slightly more power than the previous generation, and of course I know you want to find out what is the DNA like. So we start with the engine. So up front it is actually powered by a 1.5 liter 16 valve turbo petrol engine that produces 130 kilowatts and 270 newton meters of torque, which by the way is sent to the front wheels courtesy of a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is actually very nice because it's fast shifting and allows you to explore the full potential of this particular engine. And of course, as I wait to just floor it, I'm gonna put it on sport mode and then wait for the gap and see whether this particular vehicle has what it takes to be the one. And 3, 2, 1, and so floor it, and off you go. You can feel the power of that 1.5 liter engine that accelerates from 0 to 100 in 7.2 seconds, and of course gives you full power, full potential, clocking all the way to about 200 kilometers an hour. And of course it returns you a fuel economy figure of 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is not bad because I mean this is 1.5 liter. It's a balance between performance and efficiency. Now all that power is sent to the front wheels courtesy of a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which allows you to explore the full potential of the engine and still returns you a fuel economy figure of 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers. So it's very fuel efficient. On a full tank probably take you about 600 kilometers, so that's enough to take you from Nairobi, Kisumu and back. And of course the efficiency is unprecedented. Let's talk about the chassis. This particular chassis is the same one. It's a modular chassis by Great Wall Motors that you also find it on the H6 and many other products within the Great Wall family. So torsional rigidity is very good. It's at 33% because they use tensile steel to ensure that the chassis is strong. Number one, there's no flex. Number three, also allows for good road safety mannerisms. And speaking about road safety, which is critically important, I'll touch on that later. But how does this car feel on the road? Obviously, because of the chassis, like I said, it is stiff enough, so it gives you good on-road performance. Up front, you do have McPherson struts. At the back, you do have 5-link coil suspension that allows you to literally feel the comfiness of the road because it absorbs so many things, road imperfections, and of course, they allows wheel articulation if you do slightly off-roading. So anybody who's doing the Rongai route, if you're a person who does at the river, Kitengela, then this particular JolionPro will actually feel at home because I mean it's got good ground clearance of roughly about 195 millimeters. Now let's talk about safety. This particular vehicle is loaded with active, passive and safety features to ensure that you remain safe while on the road. So the active features include electronic stability program, which is the AMILA program, and of course you do also have brake assist, electronic brake force distribution. Then you have the nanny aids, the driver aids, so including lane keep assist, cross traffic alert, and so much more. Adaptive cruise control. All those are aimed to ensure that you remain safe along the road. But in case all hell breaks loose, then you can rely on the 7 airbags that come as standard in this Haval Jolion Lion. But in case all hell breaks loose, then you can rely on the multiple airbags, the 7 in number, and of course you can rely on the 5-star rated passenger cell rating to ensure that you and your family remain safe while in this JolionPro. I can tell you the 5-star rating helps a lot because impact energy is dissipated away from the cabin to the harder parts of the chassis to ensure that you remain well safe while in this particular Jolion. Now, the biggest question still remains, based on all these parameters, would you pick this particular vehicle over the rivals like number 1, the Hyundai Tucson, the Kia Sportage, and many more? Let's head out and check out value for money as we break it down for you and show that this particular vehicle perhaps could be your next soft roader. So that has been the review of the Haval Jolion Pro. I can tell you, what do I love about this particular vehicle? Number 1, the athletic design. Looks very sporty, very modern. Number 2, I love the technology pack. There's plenty of tech going for it. Number 3, the safety equipment that is available in this particular vehicle. Number 4, the performance of the 1.5 liter engine. Number 5, you do have the safety element of this particular JolionPro. But the biggest question still remains, would this be the vehicle for you? We take a look at our Kirinyaga analysis and we break it down for you just to tell you how much this car costs. We start with the pricing. Now, this particular vehicle is sold and serviced by Crown Motors Group along Mombasa Road, and of course comes at a price of 5.1 million Kenya shillings drive home. Plus, comes with a 5-year, 150,000 kilometer warranty, whichever comes first, and they also throw in another 50,000 kilometer service plan just for you to have peace of mind. Now, you can actually maintain this particular vehicle from border to border, coast to coast, Mombasa to Kisumu, to ensure that this particular vehicle is well maintained, courtesy of Crown Motors Group's extensive network across the country. But the biggest question still remains, the vehicle exists in a space where there's so much competition. Who are the key rivals in this particular segment? We start with the Volkswagen T-Cross, you have the Kia Sportage, you have the Hyundai Tucson, and many others. Now, based on these parameters, would you pick this JolionPro over the rivals? Let's your thoughts are seen on the social media handles below. We'll get back to the feedback next week. Signing out is Big Boy Trev on behalf of NTV and the team behind the camera. Alam Siki, and drive safe.